You could have heard this episode 48 hours early on our Patreon, patreon.com/indieheadspodcast. By joining us for as low as $1 a month, you will see episodes early and gain access to our Discord server. All of our upcoming episodes will be up on our Patreon 48 hours before it hits our public podcast feeds. But if you're hearing this via our Patreon feed, we thank you so much for your support. We especially want to thank our Real Ones patrons, including Becca Etienne, Georgia Mikowski, James Boss, Holiday Kirk, Tyler, Marcy Anime, Chance Bushelli, Dana Laney Miller, Rihanna Cruz, Josiah Duncan, Genoa Fleur, Matt Cameron, Grant in the Back of My Dragula, Pablo Escobar's Hippos, Jackson Christ, Alec Felder, Jeremy Bull, White Dogs Y, Matthew Taylor, Breen Hare, Drew Wharton, I Like Books, Jonathan David, Max Kapazinski, Mark Barry, Darian Fisher, Cal 50, Noah's Refused Pimped Out Dave Matthews Event, Chris Wade, Jacqueline Kataga, Midwest Maxwell, Kevin John, Jake Wald, Erase Ray Baby, Rob Marino, Max, Dylan, Sandy Nemo, Zach, Kevin 490 Freak, and Maze Farms. To become a real one, consider supporting us for $5 a month on Patreon. We'll receive a bonus episode every month, get a shout out at the top of the pod. Anyways, though, enjoy the episode. Grant, whenever you're ready, you said you had a cold open, right?
Yeah, but you've also said I need to turn on my camera. I
Yeah,
don't
he's
know why
doing
you.
a bit.
I don't know why you think I have a bit. I don't have a bit, Matty.
Now he's gonna keep the camera off because he's upset. He
I'm
doesn't have a
telling
bit.
you, I do not have a bit. For the last time, it's just normal old fucking Grant.
Oh, God. I should have known. Listeners, for the listeners out there, Grant is currently, they got Juggalo face paint on. They've got an ICP record.
Can I get a whoop whoop?
Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop.
That's
Roll
right.
line! You had me too. That went on for so long that I was like, they don't have a bit. Right at the end there, I was like, I feel kind of bad because they don't have a bit.
We love to gaslight strangers on
Got
the
my
Indieheads
ass.
podcast.
Got my ass. Love it.
Oh no. Oh no. We're off to a quick
Perfect start.
already.
Perfect start. Let's get into it.
Amazing.
All right. Theme song.
Love this one.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Indieheads podcast, episode number 250. Wait, no, it's not 215. I think this is 216, 217. I don't know. We've done so many episodes of the podcast. It's just a lot. This is another Grant's Goodies episode. This is one of the episodes where Grant takes over and has their bits and things like that. So, Grant, please tell us why we're all here today.
Do you want me to explain or go on my manifesto?
Well, let me actually, before you do that, let me introduce everybody that's on this episode first.
All right, that's a good idea.
Of course, from the pod, of course, Grant, as you know, I already mentioned Grant. We got Jackie, we got Britt, we got special guest, CEO of New Metal, Holiday Kirk. Welcome back to the pod. Thank you for being a pinch hitter here. And Holiday Kirk is here for a reason. There are some artists that we're discussing that I think Holiday Kirk could be a good person to have on for this. But Grant, why are we here? What's going on?
All right. So we're talking about bands that either paint their faces like monsters or wear masks like monsters, kind of a specific niche of like shock rock and new metal.
Yes.
It's a hyperfixation of mine, and I've written a piece to get everyone into the mindset.
I hate looking at your face.
I love it so much. It rules.
I hate it. It's so fucking creepy.
Is that glow in the dark
I love it
face paint that you have on?
What's
Is
that?
that glow in the dark face paint?
No, I just have a green light
Gotcha.
vaguely off camera.
Gotcha.
Oh my
That's
God.
It's really
Let me-
great.
Let me get a sip of my Faygo right now.
You have Faygo,
Shout out to
literally?
the state of Michigan.
Oh, Britt, I've been drinking nothing but water, black coffee, and Faygo all week to get into the mindset. Like, this has been an experience.
No.
Oh
All right.
No.
So I would like to invite you all on this journey. If you could just clear your mind and get into the mindset.
I am not going to clear my mind. I'm going to inebriate it further.
Okay, that also works. All right. So this is a manifesto called Grant in the Back of My Dragula. And it'll hopefully give some context as to why we are here. At the time of this recording, I am sitting in a bedroom with 15 Frankensteins, 17 Draculas, 11 Wolfmans, 9 mummies, and 6 creatures from the Black Lagoon. This was always destined to happen. My earliest memory in my life takes place in a Burger King drive-thru when I was 2 years old. October 1997. I had just opened my kids' meal, ignoring my chicken nuggies and my fries. I dove straight for the piece de resistance, the toy. Beneath a thin layer of clear plastic was a small action figure of a man cloaked in all black, with a striking widow's peak, tiny white fangs, and a red coffin in which to place him. Maddie's already breaking.
No, what's
it's
Kirk
not because
doing?
the story. It's not because the story.
What is
Oh,
Kirk
let's
doing?
go!
Oh, my
no.
God.
Go!
Let's go.
Oh, Holiday Kirk has
my
appeared
God.
with a Slipknot mask.
Okay.
Oh
rules.
God.
Continue.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What?
Alright, let me find it. Oh, yeah.
Ugh.
I had recognized Gavin's toy. He had the Wolfman, a movie character I was well familiar with because every Halloween would put out an impressive figurette of him on our mantle that could howl and move his arms. However, I was unfamiliar with the tiny vampire man in my hands. Luckily, my mommy fucking knew. Look, Grant got a little Dracula, she said, pointing at my figure. A core memory had been created, and a lifelong hyperfixation had been set. When I was 6 years old, the Wilkes household got a Party City catalog that proudly advertised an officially licensed Universal Monsters Dracula costume for kids. We went to every Party City in my area till we could find one in my size, and I wore it every single Halloween until I outgrew it. In the first grade, I found a children's book in the library called The Boy with a Thousand Faces about a boy that was born on Halloween, lives in a house by the graveyard, makes it his lifelong dream to follow in the footsteps of silent film actor and special effects maestro Lon Chaney. I had never felt more seen by a fictional character in my life. Monsters and monster movie effects consumed my entire being. My first real friend outside of my twin brother Gavin was a Mormon boy named Jonathan, with whom I would write a series of monster-themed books in which Gavin, Jonathan, and myself were professional monster hunters. After school, we would play a game called Ghost Hunters at my house by hanging up floating white sheets from my mom's linen closet in the backyard and beating the fuck out of them with baseball bats. My favorite movie was Halloween Town. My favorite TV show was The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite video game was Grabbed by the Ghoulies. Favorite food? Better believe it was Count Chocula, sister. Every media category had its own subsection of monsters in which I found comfort. So when my brother and I played the classic video game Tony Hawk's Underground, unlocked the bonus Kiss concert level, and learned that even music could have cool-looking monsters in it, it was over. My life would never be the same.
That's so great.
That was
Fuck.
that was
I
beautiful.
love that so much.
I hope
I
that
actually
put you
do
all
too.
in the mindset.
This is really wholesome, actually. That's more wholesome than I'm expecting.
Tim Burton, get on the phone and direct the Grant biopic is what I'm saying. But
Oh, yeah.
anyways, we need to get into this because we got a lot of great spookies and ookies and skeletons to talk about on this episode.
I do have a bit while Matty is
Go
pulling
ahead.
this up.
Go ahead.
So I am wholly unqualified to be here. I know what I'm doing here, but you know what? My fuck buddy has gone to the Appalachians to trip on acid for a weekend.
As one does.
And and I am now here by myself. So what I'm going to do instead is I am going to play Monster Mash or Pass. Because
That's
obviously,
right.
because obviously the Monster Mash is clearly about having sex.
It
They
is.
did the Monster Mash.
The
Duh.
monster fuck.
Yeah,
The monster fuck. So
Mhm.
correct. So I'm going to at least I told the chat about this earlier, what the criterion I'm going to use for judging this. So all right, what I'm looking for in all this is quality of mask, if it's scary, and would this monster eat pussy?
Hell fucking yeah. This is my
So,
first.
Have you
Also-
seen the monster fuck?
This is my
What?
first time potting
The-
with Britt, and
have-
I'm already having a
the-
great time.
Have you seen the monster fuck, Britt?
No,
A
Okay,
mon-
good.
I
Okay.
have not seen the monster fuck.
real
Okay,
quick.
I will gladly entertain
so
this.
okay, I'm gonna cut this from the episode, but I'm gonna show Britt the monster fuck really quick, and because again, we watched this on the Halloween
right.
stream, I believe.
Mhm.
So
always-
I'm gonna cut. We're gonna watch this, but you're not gonna listeners. You're not gonna be privy to it. Then we'll come back. So Britt, this is the monster fuck because this is literally almost exactly what you're talking about. All right, let's get into it, everybody. Grant, what is our first video? Because here's the thing. I have two bones to pick. Well, actually, I have a bone to pick, but from two different sides. There is the character Matty on the Indieheads podcast. As a character, I'm like, so Grant, why did you select live videos? As the podcast host and producer, I'm like, Grant, you realize this is a fucking audio podcast. And I understand that visual bit on an audio podcast, like that's one of our running things, but this is maybe taking it a step too far. So the question still stands. Why, aside from one of these, why are these all live music, like live videos instead of music videos, where presumably all these people are still wearing their costumes and shit?
Because I'm getting drunk and I want to watch GWAR decapitate someone.
Oh.
Okay, that's fair. Anyways, what's our first video of the night, Grant?
All right, our first one is the innovator of the scary band, old occult rock notwithstanding. It's Kiss, Detroit Rock City on the Paul Lynde Halloween special in 1976.
How about a little chamber music?
All
A
right.
little chamber music. Well, that would be nice, but where are the musicians?
Let's see. We have
Locked up in a little chamber.
Spooky Doll Witch, the Wicked Witch of the West,
Oh, it's a
and
scarecrow.
Paul.
they make
Oh, it's
such
Oda's Scarecrow.
Very soothing, quiet dinner music. You'll love them.
I
We call it Kiss.
Oh, not unless you brush your fangs.
Okay, boys, play something a little peaceful for Mr.
Hey, the 70s. What a time! What a time for
what
culture.
a time.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
So,
Maddie,
also additionally,
you watched this, right, Maddie?
I watched all these today before the pod. I'm not reacting for the first time.
The thing I
today.
always forget about Kiss, like, you know, with like these old rock stars, like us young people, we're so familiar with the old version of them that you forget what they like look like at the peak of their fame. And I always forget how twinky Kiss are. You know what I mean? Like they're way. Like, you think Kiss, like, the image we have, like, culturally of Kiss is very different from what they actually look like. Especially the lead singer.
Yeah, this is
You mean Mr.
again,
Paul Stanley?
Yes.
not to be homophobic, but you really
You
do forget
know-
how fucking gay Kiss were.
Of course. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
and you
That's
know,
kind of
with
the
how much
essence of the
tongue they have
70s,
out,
though, is that everything was gay and they didn't know it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Facts.
with
Or
how
if
much
they
tongue
were
they
gay,
have
they
out, no pussy being eaten. None. Gene
Yeah.
Simmons
Yeah.
does not eat pussy.
Well,
Yeah.
they didn't.
Has he been on the
admit it.
record that he doesn't eat pussy? I feel like he's been on record
That
about
almost
that.
I don't know, but
He's
let's Google
either,
it.
I would have
Definitely
guessed,
does.
I would have guessed that he's either, like, I'm having such a bad time. I don't know why, but like my ability to recall names of just like any kind is fucking shot. Michael Douglas.
Which is rare for Jackie. That's
you know,
worrying, Jackie.
Michael Douglas. Didn't he like famously like get ovarian he got cancer in his throat because he was eating so much pussy? I feel like Gene Simmons is one or the.
That was his claim.
Gene Simmons is one or the other. He's either never done it or he's done it so much that he got cancer. No in between.
Jesus Christ.
Look,
Huh?
I heard that story, and I wish I
Oh,
had.
this fucking camera's tilting around.
yeah, I picked this video because it's the closest reality has ever gotten to looking like a Guitar Hero level, and that kind of rocks.
It does kind of. I love how ridiculous this is, and I think to answer Matty's question, like the reason why it's these live videos is because it highlights the like theater kid energy of like. I think in a music video, it's easier to preserve like kind of the image of like this is actually cool and badass and scary, and when you see the live video, you're forced to kind of reckon with like that these are people putting on makeup and doing drama kid shit.
I mean, not really. Imagine if you're 16 and you saw this.
No,
in
totally.
1976. Like, you would be floored. Your life
I mean,
would
I-
never
I
be
was,
the
I
same.
agree.
Like
I'm
10 when I saw Kiss for the first time, and I thought it was the coolest thing on earth. I looked
Oh,
for it.
everything's falling apart.
I was looking for it, but there was one year in my life where
Whoa!
me and Gavin
Just
There's-
were Gene
there's
Simmons
spin-
and Paul
I'm
Stanley
not
for
saying,
Halloween
I'm not
one
saying
year.
it's entirely not cool. I'm just saying there's something about, and I think there are bands that like pass this test and don't, right? Like there are some bands
Yeah.
where their ensemble on stage and the way that they sell it, you like really feel it versus the bands where it's like, oh, this feels like people this looks like a fucking drama school production, like a high school play. And I think
Mhm.
that is what separates and so I think that's why you would go with the live videos, like and like when we get to the Slipknot video, we'll discuss that. But let's talk about this is a great one, and we have some great auxiliary.
I have a
Go ahead.
sidebar
Go ahead.
before we segue.
Go ahead, Britt.
So I have Gene Simmons' Wikipedia article up.
Oh, okay, yeah, I was looking at that earlier too.
Oh
In
boy.
2010, he claimed that he has vetted 5,000 women and that he has a Polaroid picture of each liaison, including the hotel key where it took place.
That
5,000 women.
That's some serial killer shit.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
Mildly
Yeah.
litigious.
Well, I mean, he
Yeah.
did support the Iraq War invasion, so serial killer is pretty accurate.
Yeah, he's also Israeli.
Didn't
We
we
can
all?
deal with that what we want. I did not
Oh,
know he
God.
was Israeli, but whatever. Yeah, I don't think that he has eaten pussy ever. I don't know if it's 5,000 unsatisfied women who just want to say that they fucked Gene Simmons, which I'll give him the point.
I-
would love
I'd
to
say
say
like
too.
believe-
4,100 of
I
them
believe
do
that-
not want to say they fuck Gene Simmons.
Yeah, exactly. I
Plurality of that in metric.
I think I do believe I don't believe that they've accurately kept track, but I do believe that the 70s rock stars had like ridiculous amounts of but yeah, exactly. I'm sure
His dick be stinking, probably.
Terrible.
yes,
Oh.
exactly. And so many of those people,
Yeah.
that don't talk about it, whatever.
He's just
Yeah, he
drunk and high
definitely-
too for all of them. Nobody was
Exactly.
having fun.
Yeah.
Oh, he says that he doesn't want to use drugs or alcohol. Apparently, literally the next line on that
Yeah,
Wikipedia
okay.
thing, it says he's always been open about his disdain for drug and alcohol use, and has proudly claimed many
Straight
times
edge
over,
kiss.
"I've never been
Straight
high
edge
or
kiss,
drunk
yeah,
in my
that's-
life."
I would just like
Teetotaler.
to also just real quickly note that when I also looked at the Gene Simmons Wikipedia page, and just to like note this as along with my comment on Kiss. Here's Gene Simmons on the Beatles. There's no way I'd be doing right now if it wasn't for the Beatles. I was watching the Ed Sullivan Show and I saw them. Those skinny little boys, kind of androgynous with long hair like girls. It blew me away
What?
that these four boys from the middle of nowhere could make that music.
What?
That's all I'm gonna
England
say.
is not the middle of nowhere, as much as I wish it was.
Yeah, so-
I just think that was funny that Gene Simmons wasn't like, wow, the Beatles, I love pop music. He's like, wow, I can't believe these twinks can rock this hard.
Jesus.
Yeah. So Kiss were the first band I ever loved when I was like 9 years old. There's pictures of me
How
and
embarrassing.
Gavin dressed as them for Halloween one year. I tried to find them. I had that toothbrush that played music. The
Tooth Tunes?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
They had like it was all like Ali and AJ and like the Jonas Brothers, and then the one rock one was Kiss, and you better believe I had it. And I brushed my teeth to rock and roll all night.
well, I'm sorry, Grant. I have to pass on Kiss.
That's
that is
absolutely
my
fair.
verdict.
Yeah.
Oh God.
My
okay.
verdict is I have to pass on Kiss because while Gene Simmons as a person is scary, the makeup looks like it could have kind of been done by a 5-year-old, and that's fine. It's valid because clearly it meant a lot to 6-year-old Grant here. And also, it's only scary because Gene Simmons as a person is scary.
His tongue is fucking. He's got a big ass tongue. That's the only thing. That's the only thing though with the eating pussy thing is that he's got a big ass fucking tongue.
I
if
don't think that
remember
ever
correctly.
touched a clitoris in its life.
It might be
That's
a fake
true,
tongue though.
yeah.
It's probably a fake tongue.
I think it's
though.
his real tongue.
Hang on. Let's
That's a lot of stretch.
let's do some
Oh,
some
God.
fact checking here.
Oh, first picture that popped up. That's a good one.
Yeah,
Oh
okay,
my.
that's a big tongue. Okay, there we go.
Wow.
Well then. Also, Grant, to further throw salt in the fucking wound, Hotter Than Hell is one of the worst levels in Tony Hawk Pro Skater
I don't
history.
disagree, but it had a rock band, and that automatically
It
made it
did.
cool.
This is true, and I did enjoy using the buggy, even though the controls for the cars
Oh,
in
yeah.
the game were fucking
I was playing it
awful.
this week, and it was dog shit. But
Terrible.
But that combo where you do the spine transfer over Peter Criss, that's pretty sick.
Pretty sick. Well then, but let's keep going. Grant, what is up next?
Our next guy is like basically the Rolling Stones to Kiss's Beatles as far as these early kind of shock rock bands. It's Mr. Alice Cooper with No More Mr. Nice Guy.
This is a live rendition. Again, we with the exception of one,
Oh,
maybe
he's wearing
two
a
of
nurse's
these.
costume.
Oh,
No, that's not Alice
that's
Cooper.
not Alice
There's
Cooper. Never mind.
We have
a
a-
long ramp up to this bit, and when I was watching this video for the first time, I was like, "All right, where are we going with this? What, like?" And then when
There's a head.
No,
when I realized what was being set up,
What does
here,
everybody want?
I was like, "Oh, this rules. This is gonna be a great episode. This is so stupid, and I love it so much." She's
A nurse is investigating Alice Cooper's head.
It also
like,
just flipped off the audience.
yeah.
But yeah, I did not watch a single one of these videos. I went in blind.
She
I had to
looks
make sure that my
kind of like Kristen Stewart.
good for her.
Yeah.
a little Heather Graham too.
Oh, she's building Alice Cooper back to life.
Oh.
Is decapitated head, putting him in this weird contraption.
And then that contraption definitely isn't a revolving door that has real Alice Cooper standing right behind it.
Why
would you
it?
think that?
No.
That smoke and those zapping sounds, that's real science going on right there.
Oh, there he
is. What?
Oh, the nurse is right. Uh-oh. The nurse is the nurse pissed that, like, wasn't that what you were trying to do?
Yeah.
Didn't you try to bring...
To the audience that can't actually see this, I just want you all to know that this is actually super badass.
It is
actually
really sick.
really
This is
badass.
cool.
Yeah.
This is all
Alice Cooper actually is very cool.
I was like, that rocks.
Is this 80s?
The showmanship is on point here.
No, this is...
Oh, this is much more recent, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. From Brutally Wives, so...
So, you guys remember... You guys have seen Wayne's World, right?
Of course, yeah.
Of course we've seen
Yeah,
Wayne's
you just
World. Wayne's
remember
World's
Alice
great.
Cooper's in Wayne's World, and he like
Great-
gives
yeah,
off
great
this
cameo.
really long like diatribe about like the origins of the word Milwaukee and like its Native American heritage, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, no, Wayne's World fucking rocks. His cameo in that movie fucking rocks.
That movie is awesome.
My
I
personal
love that
favorite cameo is Alice Cooper is in Prince of Darkness, a very underrated
Oh, that's right.
John Carpenter movie where he plays like leader of these like possessed homeless people that are kind of just like stalking the outside of this church, and Alice Cooper just like kind of a weird haunted bum guy is incredible. It's so good.
He also plays Freddy Krueger's dad in one of the crappy Nightmare on Elm Street sequels. But
Really?
he rocks
That's right.
Yes. Yeah, and
Excellent.
I think Freddy's dead.
Yeah, I think the last
Yeah.
one before the New Nightmare.
That's right, yeah.
Apparently, 2 years after he was in Prince of Darkness, Alice Cooper released an album called Prince of Darkness.
Oh, that
That
rocks.
rocks. Just really inspired by being in that movie.
That movie fucking rules. If anyone hasn't seen that, banger-ass Carpenter movie.
This is an awesome fit on Alice, though. He's in, like,
Yeah.
all white and, like, a
Prince
ripped
of
up
Darkness
vest.
is a movie that dares
It's
to
a
ask the
coattail.
question, like, what
the
if...
hand off of the cane?
What if,
Yeah, you can't- the
Man's-
Kingdom
this
Naughty's
man's
member?
in the zone.
what if instead of being, like, a red scary guy, which we'll get to red scary guys later, like, what if the...
We definitely
What
will.
if the devil was a jar of goo that lived in a basement?
That's right.
And then they open the jar of goo and bad stuff happens. Great movie, classic, gotta watch it.
Perfect movie.
Guy turns into bugs. What else do you want in a motion picture?
So I gotta give Alice Cooper a Monster Mash by default.
Yes,
Mainly,
that's
like
right.
even though his makeup is not that scary and like not that good, it's just like a whole bunch of like crying mascara. I do that on the daily. That's fine. It's not original, but you know what? I'll take it.
Yeah, the theming is
And
always very
you know
light
what?
with Alice Cooper. He's not really like full hog committed, but he just looks scary enough as is. Like he just has like
Yeah.
a skeleton man
It's his
face.
stage presence.
But also, like, when I was in, like, elementary school, middle school, I lived in Virginia near near Williamsburg, where they have Busch Gardens, and every year they have Hallowscream. So in the Fest House, they had, like, a little Halloween show, and during Hallowscream, their Halloween festival, and everybody would come out, and I remember they would come out to Be My Frankenstein, and that song
Nice.
actually, like, went really hard. I loved that show, and I
Absolutely.
was so upset that they got rid of it. And I have not been back to Hallowscream in a while because of that, because it's just a shame that they got rid of that awesome ass show.
Hey, Matty, I sent over
Yes,
a
this is
video on the
important that we
Discord.
watch this.
This is important.
Like actually,
I said-
actually very.
Oh, yes, let's do it. All right. Alice Cooper talks about meeting the king,
Now, I
Elvis.
met Elvis in
Oh
1970.
no.
I got a thing that says Elvis wants to meet you. I got to the Hilton Hotel. Elevator opened up, and it was me, Liza Minnelli, Chubby Checker, and Linda Lovelace.
Wow. What, you'd come together, or you just
Wow.
happened to be in that list?
No, he invited those 4 people
Really?
that night. So we went up, and they searched us for guns, which was kind of silly because there were guns everywhere once you got in. When he came in the room, he was Elvis. He wasn't the fat Elvis. He was Elvis. He was the guy. He goes, "Hey, man, You're the cat with a snake, ain't you?
It was 1970s, so he wasn't fat
And he
Elvis
goes,
yet.
that's cool, man. I wish I would have thought of that. That's cool, man. He said, hey, I want to show you something. We go in the kitchen. He opens the drawer, takes out a loaded 38, snub-nosed 38, puts it in my hand. And he says, I'm going to show you how to take this gun out of somebody's hand. A little devil's here on my shoulder says, shoot him. The little angel over here says, don't kill him, just wound
Incredible.
him. Okay. Before I could decide what to do, I was on the floor. And he's had his boot in my throat. I'm like, it's good, Elvis. That's good.
I'm still reeling over the fact that you were there with Liza Minnelli.
Oh, yeah.
He must have thought you were sisters.
Why was this not in the movie?
Of course, only 3 of us came down on the elevator that night. Now, I don't know what he did with Chubby Checker all night. I'll tell you what, he was an amazing character, very funny guy.
Wow.
But he was Elvis. Yeah. I mean, you know.
Holy shit.
They did the horizontal twist. Duh. That's what they did all night.
Incredible.
Oh my God.
Also, when I was watching that, it finally clicked for me. The reason why he's got such a great face for this, he looks like Harry Dean Stanton is exactly who he looks
Holy
like.
shit.
Oh, you're right.
Especially as
Yeah.
he's gotten older. He looks like Harry Dean Stanton.
You're right. Shit.
Yeah, I should mention I got an auxiliary video for every single band on this playlist, but I'm only deploying the important ones. We didn't need to watch Kiss work at Walmart.
That is a craggy ass face. That is a face that has seen some things, you know?
Oh my God.
Speaking of seeing some things.
Oh hell yeah.
All right. The Holiday Kirk button has been pushed.
Also
What is our next video?
I'm
also the Jackie
minor,
button too.
Minor Slipknot expert. Minor recent convert to the Church of Slipknot. Let's talk about
This is true.
Sick.
Why isn't Kirk wearing his Slipknot mask?
It like presses right down on my eyebrow ring and hurts like a motherfucker. I don't
Oh,
have the
that's fair.
dedication to these guys.
It's
That's
true.
valid.
So this intro goes on for a long period of time.
Yeah.
Several
It's a
minutes.
7-minute video.
It's so good. This is them coming out on stage,
Really turn it up,
1999. So this is like them opening their set right after the debut had come out. This is them kind of peaking for the first time. Not quite yet. Not quite at their like commercial age, but this is just them like at the peak of their just like young, hungry, and ready to just like kill people to prove. And I will read
Every show. They performed every show like it was the last show. Like they would just go up there and just wreck shit like they were never gonna play again.
And you can tell, like they really do. But the thing that Lily said to me about this that I thought really hammered it home, like she recommended this video when I was taking the Slipknot dive, and she was like, "This is the closest that
so silly.
This is the closest that a group of guys have ever come to like looking like a pack of wolves on stage. Like they genuinely don't. They genuinely don't feel like 9 guys that are in a band. They feel like they are like animals that are being unleashed, and it is so sick and menacing, but also like you're saying, silly. Like that is the beauty of Slipknot. Is on one hand, it's like they are actually scary in a way that very few of these bands are, but also you can tell that they're having so much fun doing this, and even though they are playing it with like this wide-eyed like desperation of like we've got to play this like it's the last fucking show of our lives, but also this is the best show of their lives too. Like they're having
it always
so
worked
much
really
fun.
well for Slipknot because Slipknot just played it entirely straight. Like if there was a joke, they weren't in on it and they weren't laughing. Like they were just dedicated to the whole mask thing. There was never like a wink or a nudge or a Kiss pinball video game for the Sega Dreamcast. It was just like we were here to kill everything.
And a lot of people like were skeptical, like saying like, "Oh, we don't really believe you that this isn't for attention, whatever." Like it's working, whatever. But it's like it is for attention and it is for the image. But really, they are genuine when they say like, "We didn't want it to be about our faces." Like it's the same thing with Daft Punk. It's like, yeah, it is a thing for attention, but they genuinely didn't want people to be able to recognize their faces when they walked on the street because they wanted to abstract it in a way that allowed the music to still feel magic. Like
yeah, they wanted people. They were very on the record as saying that they wanted people to connect with the music and not with them. And I think that's what makes them such a band that is like that even like kids can get into today because they don't. You're not attached to like the people behind the mask necessarily. You're attached more to the music. Look at Sid. What a creature.
Which is why the response to why the response to them in America was so different than the response to them in the UK, because in America they were being the baggage of Limp Bizkit was being put onto these guys. And then in the UK, they just received it as like the message, raw and uncut, and they were like 5 stars. This is like the reincarnation of rock music. Like, this is the fucking best. And they got really popular in the UK immediately as a result. But the US caught up eventually.
Yeah, this rules.
I just don't get how they can keep their voices like this. It's how I can never click with metal.
Yeah, I used to be that person, and then I got over it.
Did I ever tell you guys about the night I hung out with their DJ, Sid Wilson?
You told me a little bit about it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. We were in the studio somewhere in like Hollywood, and I just sat behind him for like, because it was like him and my buddy. My buddy's a rapper, and he was rapping over the beats. And I just sat behind him for an hour, like, can I ask him for a photo? Ask him for a photo. Is that going to be super good? It's going to be really a photo. So I lean forward. Finally, I try to ask him for a photo, and as soon as I ask him for a photo, he gets up and goes to the bathroom.
Oh.
And I was like,
no.
I'm sure there's something in this building I can just kill myself with. That wasn't that embarrassing. There wasn't anything too embarrassing about that. But then now he did come back. Because this is by far the best song we've heard tonight. So probably will be the best song we hear.
100%.
Yeah. So again, we're just in the moment. These again, they're the jumpsuits.
Yeah, because it's like not funny anymore once they start doing that.
Is that Corey Taylor at the time? Is that his real hair, or was that always like a wig?
That's a wig. That's a
part
wig.
of the. Okay, I was gonna say. I assume that was always a part of the mask. The dreads.
It looked like part of the mask. It looked like it was attached in it. That's a weird thing to like feed through the mask. It's a lot of fucking work.
Yeah.
I don't get the sense that they're the type of people that want to put in that kind of work.
He was pulling a cane. Why was the video getting all squeaky there? See, this is why I was like, why are we watching live videos?
Because they rock.
Well, because they rock, but also because I just heard random squeakiness.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Video.
It might have been the turntable.
You gotta get over your audio autism, Matty. I'm sorry.
Well, I
understand.
This is a podcast, Jackie.
I know. I know. You gotta keep it raw, man.
Me having audio autism is why this podcast is still going.
Oh, Matty, we gotta keep it raw and uncut and energy, whatever. I don't know, but I mean, the Slipknot. That is kind of the amazing thing about, and all of this is me stealing points from Kirk's. By the way, I'm gonna plug 2 things after this, and I'll read some stuff from them. But Kirk's amazing 50 best new metal albums, which I edited, and the #1 album is the Slipknot self-titled, which I think is correct. And I
can't wait to find out how hard it is to keep this energy up for 3 hours next Saturday.
Oh my god, this fucking song is so sick, but like this whole album, the thing that makes it amazing is that it is complete chaos and complete energy, but it's so fucking controlled. And that's the thing that makes Slipknot genuinely intimidating, genuinely exciting, is that they move in unison like a fucking army unit. Like, there's nothing about them that's like amateurish or like out of control. Like, especially with Joey being the center of it. Joey Jordison was just like one of the best drummers of all time. Like, from the moment I started getting into Slipknot, I was like, oh, this is one of my guys. Like,
and once you figure it out, like once you like kind of crack the egg of how good they were, you think about 1999, you're like, what the fuck were other people listening to? It's like, what other albums even came out that year? We were listening to what, Blur? What the fuck were we all doing in 1999?
Especially having watched like the drum cams and other stuff recently. I was sending it to Matty. Joey Jordison essentially invents so much of what Zach Hill does with Death Grips, particularly the way that they have Joey drumming and then 2 percussionists and then a DJ who is doing scratching and like drum and bass samples all layered on top of each other, but none of it sounds cacophonous because all of it is so carefully put together so that it doesn't feel like, when you listen to Korn, there's like this kind of messiness and chaos that comes from the fact that they just didn't fucking know what they were doing and they were just pushing through the lack of abilities that they had. But that's not what Slipknot is. Slipknot is like you're getting run over by a fucking Panzer. Like, you are getting absolutely bulldozed by these guys, and they're the coolest. I love this band so much.
Now we get the flip side of that, though, with a band that I once called...
Sorry, before I know we just talked a lot about Slipknot. I really quickly wanted to read some brief excerpts from the Slipknot spin profile, because I think it is the best example of, like, the Slipknot mindset and why they're so cool, and also, like, a window into exactly what we're talking about, which is the Matty, the thing you need to understand about Slipknot, and this is what I will illustrate with this quote: Slipknot is jackass. All right, just keep that in mind before.
Again, I'm not coming in as a Slipknot hater
I know.
on this episode.
I'm trying to convert you. That's what I'm saying, and I want you to understand this in the concept of jackass. Slipknot have a motto: "People equal shit." It's a straightforward enough sentiment, but sometimes Iowa's most famous metal non-tet like to reinforce the theory with visual aids. Sean Crahan, percussionist, decided to take a shit on stage in Virginia Beach last night. Drummer Joey Jordan says, "I'm the only one.
What?
I'm the only one down with that." So he threw a turd at me. When I went to take a shower, I had this big shit smeared in my sock. Joey is loudly discussing feces as he and his bandmates Crahan, vocalist Corey Taylor, and bassist Paul Gray stroll through the Natural Museum of History in Washington, D.C., where they are scheduled to play a show tonight. Not surprisingly, the guys are enthralled by the museum's collection of animal skeletons, stuffed undersea specimens, and ugly, overgrown insects. Quote, "I just happen to be fascinated with the bug world," Crahan says. And then skipping ahead to the very end of it, because this is my favorite part. The choice of lead and music is a nice counterpoint to the high-volume proceedings that follow. Bathed in strobe lights, Crahan, appearing far angrier than any man in a clown mask has right to be, shakes his fists, slowly draws a drumstick across his throat in mock suicide, and manically humps his drum kit. Turntablist Wilson and percussionist Chris Fain carry a beer keg on stage, douse it with an unidentifiable liquid, and light it on fire as the band launch into Wait and Bleed. Wilson climbs the speaker stacks and executes a spiraling dive into the crowd, which catches him. The chaos pauses when Taylor holds up a recent issue of Teen People. "I was pissed off like a motherfucker when I saw this," the singer barks, displaying a Calvin Klein ad featuring a bare-chested Korn drummer David Silvera posing saucily. Taylor hoards a match to magazine and shouts, "People like that are destroying music." The band kick into surfacing, and Taylor screams the chorus, "Fuck it all, fuck this world, fuck everything you stand for," as he stamps his boot-clad feet. After the show, Wilson thoughtfully hands set list to lingering fans, drooling thick loogies onto the scraps. Backstage, the rancor over their Silvera's glamour boy posturing continues as Slipknot shake off the excess adrenaline. "I hope I get out of the business before that shit ever happens to me, man. We had hope for Korn, but it's sad, man. I'm disgusted. Slipknot's sole concession to fashion has been a purchase of a backup set of coveralls. The only thing we've ever wanted to do," Taylor says, "is to make the most ruling music and to kill everybody." And that's Slipknot. They're the fucking best. I love this band.
Okay, they took a shit in my town.
They did. They took a shit in your town.
They took a shit in my town.
And he threw it at Joey Jordison.
They are...
Think of it as outsider art.
No. Oh, it's outsider art, all right. It's outsiders making not art.
Important question, Britt. Yeah. Would you fuck any of the members of Slipknot?
Yes, I was about to
which
ask.
one?
Do they have to keep their masks on?
Oh, here's the great way. Before you answer this, Grant, play the introducing the members of Slipknot. This will make this easier.
Okay, yeah. All right.
For all
auxiliary Slipknot video being pulled up.
This is the other important one.
Okay. I also have a picture of them up in their masks because it was hard to get that from the video.
Here, this video you're about to watch will be helpful.
Okay. All right. I cannot identify literally any of them, and I'm already mildly tipsy. We're already 3 songs in.
I will say, I'm just gonna go ahead and pull this up. Remind myself without the mask.
I'm Joey.
Just double check.
I'm number 1, and I play the drums. I'm Corey.
Monster Mash.
Singer for Slipknot.
It's Matt. Or Pass. That's the one.
No, Corey's.
That's too much.
DJ. I'm the clown. Number 6.
Monster Mash.
I
I'll take
percussion.
Mick,
Hard
number
pass.
7, guitar.
Hard pass.
That was
Paul, number 2, and I play
Monster
bass.
Mash.
133, number 5.
Monster Mash.
And keyboards.
James, number 4, play guitar.
Monster Mash.
Chris, number 3, I
Pass.
play percussion. Don't be afraid to pull on your stick, man.
Monster Mash.
I will say, Britt, your only mistake is Corey. I know Corey Taylor's mask is spooky. He is hot under the mask, and I could tell that before I Googled Corey Taylor without mask ? But I sensed it, but I confirmed he is hot.
All right, I gotta Google it now.
Oh, God. Well, let's move on. I think we should move on. Let's move on to our next band.
Silly Billies.
Grant,
okay,
what is up next?
He's fine. He's it would be a drunken pity sex.
Hey. All right. Don't be so harsh on my taste. Anyway, let's move on. Mushroomhead.
Okay.
I will absolutely judge Jackie's taste.
I forgot. This entire playlist is segmented into 2 acts that are of the same genre or style that I've just done, and the first 2 were the Innovators, Kiss, and Alice Cooper. We're now in New Metal Corner, and the next one is a band I know nothing about except their fans used to fight with Slipknot fans, and that's Mushroomhead.
Okay.
This is why we have Holiday Kirk. Holiday Kirk, you can maybe let us in on who is Mushroomhead? What's their deal? Why
I once called these guys.
Passion.
I get a lot of jokes off of these guys. I once called these guys a yabba dabba doo ass rock band. People got
that fucking word art ass fucking font on it. Oh.
No, that's exactly it. Like, especially seeing them right after Slipknot really hammers home, like, how impressive it is how menacing Slipknot managed to be, because this looks like fucking, like,
These are just guys.
You know what this is?
They're just guys.
See, going back to the theater kid energy, this is like medieval times, or like, what if there was a rock concert at, like, Halloween Horror Nights, but not even that good.
I was about to say, this is like if you gave scare actors instruments and said play.
Really actually.
Yep.
This is Universal Studios house band.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
The thing is, though, is that like Mushroomhead is a band that I cop to being. If anyone asks me, I'm just like, I don't get them, because I have lots of very smart friends of mine who think they're great. But
That
to me,
guy's
I think
wearing
they're
a
fucking awful. I really do.
I
The lead singer
can imagine
sounds like he's trying to balance a
appreciate
bucket of water on his
in
head.
like a purely kitschy way, I guess. Like, in the same way that you can, and like, I imagine, Grant, you have some sympathy for these goofy ass motherfuckers. But like, I think the fact that their costumes are like clearly riffing on real movie characters makes it feel more.
They're all just trying to be Leatherface.
It's giving Planet Hollywood, you know? It's kind of like, if you told me that this was a metal-themed restaurant and they, like, do this once a night and then, like, it's like, all right, back to your dinner, like, I would believe
This is
you.
I would go to that. I like that more than Mushroomhead.
Exactly.
That sounds kind of fun.
This looks like a band that would be
the
called
spooky band.
like B4, I forget, and it's spelled like B and then the number 4 and then in parentheses Slipknot cover band. That's basically what this gives.
Which is, I can imagine why the Mushroomhead fans would then have a whole complex about, no, we're not like amateur Slipknot, you know?
Well, the auxiliary video I have for this one, these guys bore me. I have nothing to say. I'm in full agreement with the new metalheads here, but the auxiliary video I do have is Corey Taylor talking about Mushroomhead.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I really pity Mushroomhead because they were doing the same things at the same time, just Slipknot blew and blew way bigger. So I know that Mushroomhead had to be really pissed off about that. And they will never live
But
that
there was
down. They even have like the
also a
same
reason,
instrument.
though. That's the thing.
They have like the same instrument setups and
Yeah.
everything. They're just worse.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
Oh, yeah, the frontman guy also, really hammers home how impressive Corey's, like. I don't always love Corey's frontman, but like he's so surprisingly good at both of the lanes. Like, he can do the singing, like the kind of post grunge thing, but then he can also do even the rapping goes over way better than you expected to on the Slipknot debut album.
We don't have to listen to any more of this.
All
I'm
right,
done with it.
This is very bad. I don't enjoy this. This is a hard pass. Hard pass.
Let's get to some
it's only
Corey Taylor and some cool guys.
Slipknot and Mushroomhead will ever be a song, like a show together? Maybe?
No.
Hey, hold on a second. First of all, my problem has never been with that band. My problem was with their fans at the time. The first time we played Cleveland, their fans came down. Now, mind you, we didn't fucking say shit. Their fans came down and basically threw everything but rocks at us. You know what I'm saying? They hit Paul in the face with a fucking padlock the size of my fist. This was while we were on stage.
Holy shit.
Jesus.
So, when we got done playing, we took all of our shit off and went into the audience.
Dudes rock.
Oh no.
Did someone in the audience there yell maggot?
There were a lot of them.
Did anyone else hear that?
But
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, too.
There was
That was an M.
Mushroomhead. And all of
I don't know who
I
that
have
is.
this video too of them
You know,
fighting.
you know what they
the audience.
call a gay Slipknot fan?
I don't want to.
A maggot.
Don't.
right there.
Just call them maggots. Again, it doesn't matter what orientation you are if you're still not a fan. They're all maggots, you know? Simple as that.
We've basically let that go. It's really been more of a fan versus fan fucking thing.
What a fucking class act, dude.
I would love to do something like that, especially now, you know? I think it would be beautiful to put something like that together and just see what fucking happens. Fucking Mushroomhead, GWAR, and fucking
Fucking crowd here, Jesus.
Slipknot, Mushroomhead, GWAR. Let's go.
That would be an insane show.
It would be insane.
If it's one thing I fucking learned, you don't hold on to stupid shit. You fucking let it go.
Thank you, Corey.
Thank you, Corey.
I would also like to thank
words of wisdom.
Grant for sharing that video with us, because that just really hammered home all of my Corey Taylor points. That man is very hot.
Yeah, Corey rules.
The dad hat situation going on, his voice, everything about it. Yes, absolutely. Anyways,
Okay, yeah, I'll nudge him over to a smash.
Thank you.
Or monster mash.
Thank you for saying
All
that.
right.
Great. All right, let's move on.
If my expertise is no longer needed, I have a pizza party in Hollywood to go to. Are we all good
Yes.
here?
I think so.
I can talk about the Mudvayne song later.
Oh no, wait, we do have Mudvayne.
We do have Mudvayne.
Yeah, we do have Mudvayne.
How far away is that?
It's like one of the last videos.
We can rearrange the order if we want to.
Yeah, we can do Mudvayne right now.
If that doesn't throw anyone off.
Let's throw it into
New Metal Corner.
New Metal
Yeah,
Corner.
yeah.
It was in Crazy Ass White Boys, but it works in New Metal. This is the most insane video I've ever seen.
Okay,
Alright,
so
bring it on.
So this is Mudvayne Dig. Their big hit from Ozzfest 2001.
We will see you motherfuckers next time.
I love this. I love this performance.
Is this before or after 9/11?
Good question.
Probably before, just like statistically.
I mean, yes, there are more months before 9/11 than there are after 9/11, but you know, you gotta ask.
But I mean,
It changes the tone
that
sometimes.
was one of my favorite parts of. By the way, just to plug it one more time. HolidayKirk.com. Go check out the new metal list. But one of the best, the write up on System of a Down, where you talked about like everyone predicted that album would be a flop right after 9/11, because it's like no one's gonna want to listen to heavy music after 9/11. Like, is the genre dead? And the opposite happened, which is that it was so successful. And I think that's something that new metal, like, it was weirdly primed to meet the moment it arrived into in 2001.
Yeah, it was more of the sense that Clear Channel blacklisted every metal song they could think of.
Yeah.
So the idea, it was an artificially induced sort of end of metal and Enya ascendant. But in reality, everyone wanted metal forever. Look how fast he's got to scream this part.
I know. It's insane vocal performance.
I still have not worked up the nerve to do this at karaoke. It feels like a real bar clear sort of song.
Yeah. That's it. That it's definitely some host scaring music.
It is the host scaringest of music for sure.
You gotta feel the room. You gotta
This
feel
isn't
the
a
room. There might
bar
be- there-
once
there
where I
will be a
did.
night.
This isn't
Kirk,
a
there
bar
will
too
be a
where I
night.
once did a Deftones song and all the hoes were scared away, and so this would be way beyond.
Exactly, yeah. On the new metal host scaring scale, you have Deftones at one end, Mudvayne at the other end, and like Slipknot are like in the middle, where there are less host scared than you think. Me being the great example, but they're kind of in the middle.
I'm not terrified of it as a hoe.
I think this is a sick performance.
As a hoe, speaking as a hoe.
Like, it's a good quality makeup. It looks like he actually does have a bullet in his head.
You know what it's giving?
I'll give him that.
I was gonna say it's real like zombie Machine Gun Kelly.
Oh my god. The guitarist looks like Darth Maul.
Yeah, and this band's just this silly.
I like the silver face guy.
Yeah, silver face guy.
Fucking Tin Man looking motherfucker.
Trip
Tin
pants.
Man looks like he
God, bring me back.
huffed a little too much paint, you know.
Alright.
Trying to get high.
You know what? I'm tipsy enough
Alright.
to say Monster Mash.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yes.
Whole band?
GWAR.
Sure, why not? I'll have a fucking...
You
no,
kids
never
be
mind,
safe.
never mind.
I do have to split. Thank you guys so
Yes.
much for having
Yes,
me on.
thank you for coming
Bye,
on.
Kirk. Nice
Of course.
meeting
Bye,
you.
Kirk. All right, welcome back everybody from that brief break. We are now into the next part of the it's GWAR time.
We're
It's GWAR.
we're in the Grant in the Back of My Dragula gold standard section. These two bands.
Yeah, so while we were on that break, I asked Grant if he was a warrior. That was an excellent joke. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting increasingly tipsy. Yes. I'm drinking 20% port, so
hell yeah.
Please.
I gotta give it up for Mr. Odorous Urungus on the Vox.
What is on that guy's head? Oh my
Mr.
god.
Mr. Flatus Maximus on the lead guitar. I'm talking Balzac, Jaws of Death on rhythm guitar, Beefcake the Mighty on the bass, Jizmac DeGusha on the drums, and of course the auxiliary players. We got Slyminstra Hyman on backing Vox, and then we've got Techno Destructo, we got the Sexecutioner, and their manager Sleazy P. Martini. I'm talking GWAR. I love that.
I'm sorry, Sexecutioner?
The Sexecutioner is the one that just decapitated a nun that was holding a sign that said Mothers Against Gays.
Jesus fuck.
And there's Slyminstra Hyman, the aka GWAR woman. She's an icon.
They called her the Hyman?
Slyminstra Hyman, that's her name.
Slyminstra Hyman.
Yeah, she came up with the name herself.
Okay, I'll give her a point for that, but oh my god.
She now does...
we got a headless body that just blood's just squirting out.
Okay.
Drinking the blood.
Yeah,
I think the thing with GWAR that's always eluded me is just there's so much fucking shit on them. You know, there's so much fucking shit.
We did way too much.
They did way too much.
I'll give
I just don't understand
how
are they able to play music with all that shit on them?
Oh yeah, Mr. Odorous Urungus with the Cuttlefish of Cthulhu right now, aka the giant penis.
Okay.
Yeah, the police confiscated that after one of their live shows, and they never saw it again.
Oh wow.
I was not a big.
I'm just now seeing the giant penis.
Yes,
okay.
Cuttlefish of
All right.
Cthulhu.
Well.
But
alrighty.
I was not a GWAR head until this year. Shudder released a documentary on him, and GWAR had a brutal 2010s. At the very beginning of 2011, their longtime guitarist Corey Smuts had a blood clot and died in the middle of his sleep on their tour bus.
Jesus.
And then, of course, in 2014, their lead vocalist Dave Brocky, aka Odorous Urungus, died of a heroin overdose. It was a pretty devastating loss for them. In the documentary, when they talk about it, every single member just starts fucking breaking down crying. And then in 2019, they've since regrouped. The bass player in this, Michael Bishop, who plays Beefcake the Mighty, is their new vocalist, playing both Arthur Berserker. A new guy's playing Beefcake the Mighty. But in 2019, one of the two members of GWAR that has been in it since it started as a band, Michael Dirks, Balzac the Jaws of Death, and Brad Roberts, Jizmac DeGusha. But Balzac was diagnosed with bone marrow cancer in 2019, and it nearly broke the band up for good. But as a result, thousands of GWAR fans signed up to donate bone marrow, and the cancer is in 100% remission, and they're back on tour. They're making albums. They're selling CBD and Delta 8. They're selling a bunch of shit. I've grown to genuinely love GWAR just because these live shows are so over the top. They're all just a bunch of comic book nerds who went to art school, and they wanted to push what could be art, and so they decided to make the dumbest band possible. And I think they've created something amazing. I really love GWAR.
On the technicality and the criterion that I outlined at the very beginning of the episode, the quality of the makeup and the prosthetics is very good, and it's kind of scary, and I get the vibe that they would eat pussy. So on a technicality, as much as my mind is telling me no, my body is telling me yes. Warrior,
that's right.
I gotta say, Monster
a fraud
Mash.
quote now, unfortunately.
Monster Mash for GWAR.
I would like to note a couple of things. I would like to note that the GWAR 1992 concert film is called Phallus in Wonderland.
Yeah, they were nominated for a Grammy for that.
Yes, it's true. Phallus in Wonderland was nominated. That is the thing that is so
they got kicked out of the Grammys.
About GWAR is that they were this art school project that somehow charted as a commercial band and got played on MTV, and it's it's kind of hard to dislike even if you don't actively love it. Like they were so definitively doing their own thing.
GWAR is one of two of my favorite bands that got their start by Beavis and Butthead giving them endorsements, and that's White Zombie and GWAR, which is an amazing combo. I love them.
I would also like to shout out it's always bad podcasting, especially when I do this, but when I just like recommend like a funny thing that was said or happened on another podcast. However, maybe the single funniest episode of Blank Check is the Porco Rosso episode. And there's like a 20-minute Frank Sinatra bit where they just keep doing Frank Sinatra voice because they joke about how Frank Sinatra could have voiced Porco Rosso. And there's a whole part about Frank Sinatra talking about how he likes GWAR. He's like, GWAR, baby. Yeah. GWAR, baby. I love it. Those crazy hep cats from art school. It's like the funniest fucking riff. It kills me every single time. But yeah, great band. This is the one thing I gleaned from that episode. Is it true that they like change characters like every 10 years? They like cycle through new personas?
Not intentionally. A lot of them just leave after that amount of time. Like,
gotcha.
The drummer and the rhythm guitarist have been the same characters for their entire career in GWAR.
Gotcha.
Dave Brockie was always Odorous, but
they just sort of cycle new characters.
Yeah, but as different characters leave, they'll bring in new ones. And when someone dies as a character in GWAR, they retire the character. That's why there's no new Odorous Urungus or no new Flatus Maximus.
That's cool.
Yeah, the character dies with them. When Dave Brockie died, they actually did a Viking funeral on Odorous Urungus's costume, where they shot a flaming arrow into a boat that had it on there.
That is so cool. I love this band.
Yeah, I love GWAR. That documentary really turned me on to them. They do have a lot of not aged well, edgy lyrics, obviously, because they were a shock rock band. Like the first song on their album, We Kill Everything. Don't look that up. You'll lose a lot of respect for them. It's very edgelordy and stuff. They're like my NoFX, basically. But
that's on brand for like a lot of like edgelord shocky stuff. But it seems like they've kind of learned their lesson over the course of the years.
Yeah. All their new stuff with their new singers just about how much they hate like Donald Trump and stuff. They just turned into that type of band.
Okay. Yeah. I'll take it.
Yeah.
I would also just like to note that there, and I didn't watch this whole clip to investigate it, but there's a great tidbit that I learned from the Wikipedia page, which is that apparently in 1998 there was a long-running ska radio show called the Ska Parade, and the Aquabats were on the Ska Parade, and GWAR invaded the radio station. I think
I need to find this footage or this audio right now.
I'm gonna send it to you right afterward. But
please.
It's listed as a radio play and it's 20 minutes long. So basically, it's GWAR being in on the bit where they are basically like raiding and ransacking the ska parade, and then the Aquabats have to defend the honor of ska from the evil GWAR.
Hell yeah, that's just me and Gavin.
And GWAR like in on the bit. Yeah, send this to Gavin as soon as
that really is like the embodiment of Britt and Gavin there.
Also, I gotta mention, huge fan of GWAR. In the GWAR documentary, more than some people that have been in GWAR for 20 or so years, Mr. Weird Al Yankovic.
Excellent.
That tracks. That makes a lot of sense to me.
Yes. I sent Matty a bonus video. I think it's a classic. This is my first introduction to GWAR.
Yeah. I think this is probably my introduction to GWAR, was this video. Was GWAR showing up on Viva La Bam.
I'm glad that it got the cosign from Weird Al Yankovic.
Hey. It's scary upstairs.
Aren't your friends up there with you?
They're not my friends. They're not my friends.
This is like The Exorcist.
Rest in peace, Dave.
God, I love April Margera. April's so cool.
Yeah. I would like to also add, Jackie made a great point earlier that Slipknot was Jackass. I would like to add that GWAR is also Jackass.
Yes.
God. Dudes rock.
Did you want me to also play this GWAR versus the Aquabats
How long
thing?
is it?
It's too long.
Okay.
I was just sending that to Grant for afterward.
Oh,
okay.
I'm going to be listening to that as I fall asleep tonight.
Oh God! Well,
I hope you have pleasant dreams.
I was gonna say you're gonna have nightmares, but actually, those are nightmares to you are probably sweet dreams.
Yeah, in my nightmares, I'm boogieing with Frankenstein. That's
how fucked up you are, Grant.
I'm dark and twisted.
To the fucking Joker, the thought of crime, just having
It's
a laugh.
funny.
It's funny.
All right.
Anyways, our next song
Speaking of having
video.
a laugh, I think Matty said this is really taking the concept this episode, but specifically this video. This is a visual bit more than it's an audio bit. So if you're at home, I just recommend that you Google The Mummies, The Fly, San Francisco 1991, just so that you understand. This is apparently a cable access TV performance. Is that correct, Grant?
Yes, the Mummies are the perfect middle point between Gavincore and Grantcore. We decided this long ago.
Tracks.
They're a 60s inspired garage band that dress up like mummies, and they just hit each other on stage and play shitty instruments, and they make stuff that sounds like Halloween soundtrack music. I love them. They're beautiful. One of the greatest performances of all time, and thank you, Gavin, for introducing them to me.
Why is this just making me giggle already?
Oh, Britt, you're going to have a great time.
Oh, boy.
All right, let's hit play. I will say the funniest thing is that so far, the audio quality on almost all the videos we've watched so far have been kind of a mixed bag, except for the Mudvayne one, but that was a little more up. We pushed it up because of Holiday Kirk. The fact that this is, in terms of audio quality and clarity, this is one of the best ones, but it's also the one that almost relies entirely on the visuals, because it's just a bunch of mummies playing this fucking, like, surf rock tune.
The really key thing is that you need to see the way that the fucking lead singer just like moves the
He's doing fucking Elvis shit right now. He's doing the white boy wiggle right now. In case the Egyptian wiggle.
He's tipping over the keyboard and everything. It's so good.
Fuck it, Monster Mash. Use those bandages.
Yes.
Use those bandages and tie me up, mummy.
One time they were brought on stage by John Waters, and he said...
of course they were.
Yeah, he said...
These guys hang out with John Waters every weekend.
I believe the quote was, "These guys make music that sounds like Surfing Bird. I played that in one of my movies where a man sang with his anus. I hope they sing with their anuses." Just dudes rock. Dudes rock with the Mummies. Oh yeah, the guitar gets unplugged at some point.
Yeah, these dorks definitely eat pussy.
I gave a speech on the Mummies in my college speech class when I was still going, and I got a B+, and I only got a B+ because I forgot to attribute a quote to the person who said it.
Jesus Christ. Oh, look at he's doing this mummy is doing the white boy wiggle. This is... I don't know. Oh, God.
Yeah,
the reason
Matty looks ready to die. Matty looks ready to become a mummy.
Video episode,
I'm
be fair,
hungry.
is not entirely my fault. Blame the Mummies. They only put their music out on vinyl, so they're not on any streaming service.
But you could have still done music videos, Grant.
They don't do music videos. They just do shit like this.
Well, not the Mummies, just like for everything else.
Let's just move on, Matty.
Well, if we're gonna put on a show,
Yeah.
let's put on a show. Oh, we're about to enter European corner. These are European monster bands.
This next one, I laughed so
we're
hard.
going back to Eurovision.
We are. Shout
I
out
love
Jenna.
Funny thing
Eurovision.
is that the singer/keyboarder/ white boy wiggler is shoot pissed at his bandmates seemingly.
Good.
Don't know why.
Good.
What's going on? Anyways, next.
The
this is
comment on that one said
a little Eurovision. We are planning to do another Eurovision episode whenever the next Eurovision happens.
I'm gonna be in on that.
So
I love
but
Eurovision.
we're throwing it back to 2006 with Lordi's Hard Rock Hallelujah from Finland. Apparently, this won the Eurovision that year.
Yes, it did. I didn't know that.
That's nuts.
I knew nothing about them except that they have a shitty movie called Dark Floors where they are the monsters in it. I asked Jenna
I
for...
like that he has a little Finnish hat.
Yeah, that's adorable.
I love that.
So Lordi... Jenna gave me so many great details about this band. Their singer's name is Mr. Lordi. He has never been photographed outside of his monster makeup, except for once in the 90s to get his presidential photo of the Finnish Kiss Army, which is what he was. Every member of this band met on a Kiss cruise, every single person in this band.
That tracks.
Yeah, except for Mr. Lordi is no longer in the band because it seems like by their Wikipedia, the second they start doing unmasked stuff, like working with other bands, Mr. Lordi will ask them to leave the band. They released 7 albums last year. They have their own restaurant and cola. And
rocks.
I think I love this band. This is awesome.
So my immediate reaction to this within seconds of turning it on is like, I cannot believe that this is not a song from the soundtrack of the video game Brutal Legend.
That's exactly what it sounds like.
He sounds.
Oh my God.
This sounds like European Jack Black, like 100%. Like it's the same like sincere but also kind of campy heavy metal aesthetic.
It's just
I thought the song was fun. I had a really fun, but like also like I love Tenacious D and I played Brutal Legend, so like I'm able to appreciate this as a very silly fun thing. I think they're rocking out. I think that the riff is fun. Great.
Their first hit song was called "Would You Love a Monster Man?"
I would.
Would you, Grant?
I would.
Would you love a Monster
Well,
Man?
what monster man are we talking about here?
I mean, like,
let's
if
see,
it's
Frankenstein.
Like,
Would you love a Frankenstein?
sure.
Yeah.
You can pick, like, you can swap out his dick and like put a bigger, nicer dick on it.
Yeah, it's like character customization in a video game, but in real time.
Yes,
Oh,
Grant.
Jesus.
Grant
This
gets
is what the new National album is about. Actually,
Actually, yeah.
it's about wanting a new Frankenstein hog.
Okay, yeah. So the wings automatically make this
I
like
forgot about that.
like a hard monster mash.
Look, I'm gonna be real here. I love the Mummies, but I think Lordi's mummy might look a little better playing that guitar.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
definitely.
hard
all
monster mash.
all the fire and stuff. This seems like potential. This seems like a real fucking fire hazard.
Oh,
like with the
absolutely.
prosthetics they're wearing. Yeah, no, this is.
Well, that's why they
This
won.
is dangerous.
You know what the guitarist in this video looks like? I'm sure Grant, you've seen this. The scary skeleton mask guy in the crowd at Wendy Williams.
Yes.
Who said that?
What is that?
No, let me pull it up real quick. It's short. Classic YouTube video. All right, what's our next? And introduce our next one while I pull this up.
Okay, so our next one, this band just went viral on TikTok. They're controversial in the metal scene, but I ultimately lay on the side of this band is pretty good because I think their singer is hot. It's Ghost playing Witch Image.
Okay. If the lead singer is hot, I'm pretty easy to please. But
Well,
I
he's
think
wearing
Grant
a
and I have
mask.
different tastes.
The mask is not my favorite that he's done. I like him when he's a skeleton better than when he's a Pope man.
I would agree with that. My main thing with this was that I turned this video on having been aware of Ghost for a long time without ever hearing them. And now I understand why they're controversial, because what the fuck? I thought this was going to be way heavier than it was. Like, I was very much led astray as to what Ghost sounded like.
No, they're like inspired by like Blue Oyster Cult and Black Sabbath, like very early stuff. They aren't like a black metal band. There's a famous meme on the internet that's swimming around that says you can't spell Black Sabbath without ABBA, and that's why I think I like Ghosts. They hit those 3-part harmonies on the chorus every single time.
I get that. I don't know.
And also their singer, I would love to kiss him on the mouth. I got to tell the story about the time my friend made their singer cry later on. But I like this song because it's melodramatic. I do wish that they were shooting blood and piss everywhere like GWAR. I think that would increase the show. But
yeah, I like. See, the thing is, I like that Corey Taylor is hot and he's not trying to make me think he's hot. This guy wants me to think he's hot. He's singing in a way that's trying to make me, like. And I don't hate this song. Like, I enjoy it fine, but I think, kind of going to what you're saying, like, I would rather they either be a black metal band or ABBA. In a similar way that we were talking about with I was talking with Lily about my taste in metal. Like, she's always fascinated by that, like, there's either I like the softest, babiest poser metal, or I like stuff that's, like, too hard for Lily, and I don't like all the stuff in between, and especially, like, the mushy middle area between those extremes, and, like, this is a similar thing where I'd rather this be gayer or less gay. You know what I mean?
Well, if we want to talk about gay, I gotta talk about the time my dear friend Banshee, that's a drag name, but still, went to a live Ghost concert, and after the shows, you can get your picture taken with their singer. Must be pretty cheap because there are just so many images of people getting their picture taken with this dude. And if you bring a prop, he will just no questions asked engage with the prop. There are pictures of him blowing bubbles, holding people's kids. It's fun. But
wow.
Are kids props?
They can be
Kids
for
are
photo
prop.
ops.
They can be. Yeah. If you're bringing your kid to a meet and greet, that's a fucking prop right there.
Why would you bring your kid to a metal concert?
Maybe
stupid.
I watched. My first ever concert at the Wiltern. I was talking about this earlier today with someone else. My first ever concert at the Wiltern was Skillet and Seven Dust.
Hell yeah.
Co-headlining, and I recently moved back from college, been unemployed for a bit, started this job, was feeling kind of lonely, and I had just come from spending 4 years in Michigan, and I went to that Skillet and Seven Dust show, and I was like, wow. I didn't know there were people that were like from the Midwest who lived in Los Angeles, but I do now because they're all at this concert.
Oh,
like,
I forgot. I was supposed to reveal into my ghost shirt. Who cares? Anyways,
it was like a little. Sorry, just finishing my story. It was like a little sliver of the Midwest had been just dropped in the middle of Los Angeles for the Skill and Seven Dust show, and there were many families, like entire families, who were like rocker parents who had brought their kids to see Skillet and Seven Dust, probably Christian families, because Skillet are a Christian band. And I thought that was really funny and great. Anyways, that's but it's like that now, like these things that used to be countercultural, it's such that like time has passed and now like my ex-girlfriend's mom was like super into like hard rock music, and that's why she was really into that stuff, because she like went to her mom to those shows. Like it's just how it happens.
That's right.
Oh boy.
But anyways.
Also, I just gotta say, the guy from Ghost, he looks like the guy from The Neighborhood a little bit.
I don't get that reference.
It's like Jesse Rutherford a little bit.
I can see that. I guess, yeah.
I don't listen to music without Draculas, so I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Matty.
I mean, Jesse Rutherford is literally a Dracula right now.
Okay.
I would say, doing with the Billie Eilish stuff, not great.
Okay, that's a little bit Dracula. But my friend Banshee brought a trans pride flag to hold with the singer of Ghost, Mr. Tobias Forge. Waited in line. He's doing his character, doing his over-the-top like Swedish voice with everyone, like, hello, how are you, or whatever. My friend brings it up and says, I'm a huge metalhead, but in recent years, most metal frontmen have been disappointing me. If you know anything about like fucking Pantera or Slayer, yeah. But Ghost makes sure that they stand and not put up with any of that kind of shit. And so they held the trans pride flag up and said, would you hold this with me? And Tobias Forge cried behind his mask and broke voice and said, that means a lot to me. Thank you.
Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah. I love that.
I wanted to find the picture. I had it saved on my phone, but I don't know. It's so far back, so I just didn't bother, but it's a very cute picture.
You know what? You say trans rights, Monster Mash.
Monster Mash for Mr. Ghost. Also, Matty, I was pulling up an image to remind myself what Jesse Rutherford looked like. I completely forgot that he has like the Illuminati dollar triangle on his neck, like right below his Adam's apple.
Yeah, he's one of those guys.
Awful vibes.
Yeah, vibes are bad.
Speaking of vibes that are bad,
yeah,
this is an example. People will critique Ghosts for their image and stuff, and their music not being hard enough. And let me just say, it could always be worse.
It's true.
It can always sounding like Scooby-Doo is okay. You could be worse.
I don't love Ghost just because I've always been a person that doesn't like Queen, but I'm also not someone that's gonna like dump on Queen necessarily just because they're not a for me thing. And I think this is different. This is Psycho Synner, which of course listeners at home, you may be wondering how that's spelled. Well, of course it's spelled Synner. And this is so good. Matty, hit play.
Oh god.
Here's
the thing. So when this came up, when this came up today, when I was watching the playlist, just to prepare for this episode, I was like, finally a proper music video, and it's this fucking bullshit. Terrible.
Psycho
Awful.
Synner, Devil from Hell.
Terrible.
The
the fucking CGI fire when he's
it's so funny.
Oh yeah, this is one of the guys from Five Finger Death Punch.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That explains the really bad taste.
Yeah, this is awful.
All the like AMV movie maker effects are so good. I love it.
Pass. Hard pass.
Oh yeah, their singer's name is Devil Daddy. So like, if we're talking about singers that try to be sexy, this guy.
This is giving cosplay 3 Days Grace.
Ugh.
I will fucking destroy you. Okay.
I will say, obviously, it's horrible, terrible, every respect. Don't get me wrong. Riffs are kind of slamming though. Like I'm not hating it.
Oh no, Devil Daddy is definitely the weakest link. This would be like a whatever metal song if it wasn't a guy in like Dave Grohl and Tenacious D makeup.
Devil from Hell.
Yeah.
And you can tell it's not tongue in cheek.
Yeah, that's a hard pass. Like, there's nothing about this that I find attractive. The makeup is bleh. It's not scary.
I'd much
These
rather
guys
fuck
don't even
actual
seem like
Hellboy.
I don't think that they eat pussy, so no.
Wow, that was
No.
that. I forgot about the shot.
that butt
I
shot.
forgot
Jesus
about
Christ.
the gratuitous butt shot.
Ugh,
Excellent.
Jesus.
Do you think Devil Daddy is vaccinated?
Oh God,
yes, no.
Yeah, that's what I assumed too. Yeah, Matty, I didn't get an auxiliary video for Psycho Synner. I'm so sorry, but
I'm so upset that you did not do that. Great, I'm really mad.
If we want to push the Whopper button and clean the slate, we could talk about this.
Oh God. Okay, let's see. What do we got?
Opposite energy.
Okay, this is again Catatonic Youth video. This is one of the best Catatonic Youth video. Head P for President 2020. God, did we watch this? I feel like we watched this on some sort of stream,
It
right?
was supposed to be a car commercial interlude. I think Head PE was going to, and y'all were going to talk about this. But then I think Nookie won that round.
Oh
so.
because Nookie won the okay. So
Britt,
this
pay close attention.
Yeah, pay close attention here because again, very really important things are going to be said here. So let's watch Head P for President 2020.
Wake up, 9/11. Seek the truth. You can find it on the internet. That's the only place you'll find it. You'll never hear it in public school. You're not going to hear it on the fucking History Channel. Come on.
History Channel.
Now scream. It was all a dream. You never find his weed. I'm a sad clown. Nobody wants to see the soldiers die, but nobody understands the Muslims either. Say, bitch, give me some head.
What the fuck?
The editing is so good.
Watch the movie Zeitgeist. The Vatican is holding the truth about Jesus. He wasn't really a god. The only place you're gonna find knowledge is on
Jewish Head P?
Yeah, so let's all wake up to the fact that evolution is a myth. If anybody out there still believes that we all came from Adam and Eve, wake the fuck up. That isn't even realistic.
Wait,
that's conflicting right there.
Again, like anti-evolution, but like anti-Adam and Eve. What?
This guy laid the groundwork for RXK Nephew. It's
my god!
Honestly, yeah. This definitely, This is like way more evil RXK Nephew, or at least not as funny as RXK Nephew. But let's continue.
I'm really
That isn't even realistic. 9/11 truth. Read Zachariah Sitchin, something. Religion. Bullshit, all of it. I'm so glad I could
This
get
is
this
like
out
the
all over the
anti-Kanye.
internet airwaves for planet Earth. Hillary Clinton's got a big fat ass. I don't give a fuck about Barack Obama either. There's free energy out there. They charge us every fucking month for electricity. I'm so fucking tired of this shit. And it's up to us and you kids to take the fucking power back. Make some noise for fucking Head PE. I woke up in a nightmare. I want to know, is it too late? And I'll tell you another thing. Don't vaccinate your fucking kids if you just had them. They're putting mercury in the vaccinations. It's filled with old dead fetus tissue and all kinds of shit. 9/11 was a fucking lie. It's an inside fucking job. Get with it. I'll tear the pussy up. I'll let my nose hang. We'll take the fucking planet back. from the reptilian forces. Jesus died on the cross. What is that, human sacrifice? His blood's gonna save me? That's sick. That's like some Dracula shit.
There we go.
What's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Children, what's that sound? I do not eat pussy, just facts.
Wow.
Kids wanna hear
You got your answer.
Well, there's one
There you go, Britt. You got your answer.
Automatic monster pass.
Oh my god.
It took me till the very end of that video. The head PE guy kind of looks like Drake in Juggalo makeup.
Yes.
And speaking of speaking of which, let's move on to our final
Final song of the evening.
Juggalo.
Honestly,
oh god,
the video is beautiful, but
genuinely,
part of me wants to watch the lyric video for this because Britt has not listened to this.
No, I haven't.
Okay,
I say wait till we watch the video that was here because I think that gives a better sense of.
That's
really
true.
I think the lyrics honestly don't matter as much as it is.
I think the lyrics matter a little, but yes, the vibes are too important. This is like the most positive thing.
Seeing
I've ever
how
seen
people are reacting to it, I had an emotional experience with this video.
This is the closest humanity has been to a Disney movie.
Okay.
Oh no.
So Insane Clown Posse thigh unveiling from Gathering of the Juggalos number 17.
Is this? I assume this is what they must always close shows with. It feels too like.
Yeah, it feels too powerful to not.
So I'm going to also say a dirty word here because Insane Clown Posse has been tainted for me by this little project called Homestuck.
Oh. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely ruined for me because it actually had like a full-blown Juggalo troll. And I think he might have... Which one was he? Is he like the Sagittarius one? I don't fucking know.
What is this guitar part that they're like sampling? It sounds
I think
super
it's
familiar.
Buffalo Springfield for what it's
Yeah,
worth. It
that's
kind of
what
sounds
it
like
is.
that.
And you see all that soda, and you're like, well, why do they have all that soda just like stacked up there on? I wonder what they're gonna do with that.
But you know what? Unfortunately, like the Juggalos seem like relatively innocent as far as like fandoms go.
Not unfortunately, they're so like I am so of the it is a completely demonized. Like actually watching this video, I was literally thinking about the fact that like the FBI had these people on a watch list. It's like this is so obviously positive and healthy. And I mean, obviously, lots of like crazy shit happens at the Gathering of the Juggalos, which we can talk about the Danny Brown video after this. But like, it's so clear that everyone in the audience knows every word of this. It's so clear that like they're all having the best night of their life. And genuinely, this just like made me so emotional because like I don't connect with this music still. But even still, it's like seeing the response people have to it in the context just reminds you like anything can be powerful, you know? Anything. It's about the community more than it is about the thing itself. And that's what makes this video. Once it finally kicks in, I was not joking in the chat when I said I cried watching this video earlier today.
Come on, everyone. May the Juggalos find God.
When everyone runs out on stage
find God.
And start uncorking the Faygo, and it's just like this whole big crowd of people on stage and in the audience, and they're painting to all this confetti and balloons falling.
There's fireworks. Yes.
It's beautiful.
And they're singing a song about how the Juggalos will find God. This is cathartic right here. Shout out to that episode of Always Sunny where Paul Walter Hauser was a Juggalo.
Oh yeah, classic.
I was definitely not a fan of ICP for the longest time because no one was. It was cool to hate them. But then you look at their enemies and it's like that guy from Blood on the Dance Floor, like a bunch of assholes and stuff. We gotta talk about their trans pride beer.
Yes.
Yeah, they've just turned out to be pretty decent people, and they're just like screaming pause vibes now. I think it's safe to consider myself a bit of a Juggalo now. Violent J, Shaggy 2 Dope, I love you both. I'm sad that you have a beef with Fred Durst. That's actually genuinely heartbreaking. Y'all should bury the hatchet.
Literally.
But I don't know. This is very cathartic for a very funny idea. There are parts of this song that make me laugh, but
yes, 100%.
You look at the comments, and it's like people talking about how this song saved their life, and how they were like bullied, and how Insane Clown Posse made them feel better. And it's like, you know what? Like, more power to ya.
It's no longer fun
Yeah.
to like hate on people for having a good time sometimes.
That's right.
It depends on
I think part of how they were so naturally like, it's not just that they turned out to be good people, it's that because they were given such a hard time for doing their own thing, that like the whole ethos of the Juggalos became this very accepting thing, because it's like, we're outcasts because people think we're fucking weird, but if you want to come party with us, we're gonna accept you. Like,
That's right. Yeah,
and that's really cool.
The only Juggalos I've ever met in my life were not white. They were two kids from high school, and like you look at a gathering combination, it's like just people from all walks of life, all just putting on their clown makeup and having the best time of their life. Should we mention their beer?
Yes.
So, Insane Clown Posse released a line of beers, and one of them, they all have taglines, and one of them is called Punk Slap, and the tagline on it is, slap his pussy, slap her dick, slap this down, it'll slap you lit. So, ICP thoroughly encourages banging trans people, and for that, they have my respect.
Fuck it, Monster Mash.
That's
Well, I know
right.
Monster
That's
Mash.
right, Britt.
Exactly.
Also, ICP, pro-trans.
That's right.
Pro-trans and pro-furry also.
Yes, spoilers, the bonus video I had was one of them with their furry daughter, where they're like calling out the scummy fursuit makers.
Oh,
Oh, God. Yeah, we gotta watch that.
Other important ICP lore that people love to now bring up on the internet now. Violent J of ICP famously was the babysitter for Babytron.
What?
When Babytron was a teenager, Violent J was his babysitter. That is
No
a real
fucking
thing.
way. That's insane.
That
Excellent.
rocks.
Oh, we missed the part where in the middle of their Christian song, everyone starts chanting, "Suck my nuts, bitch, fuck you." That's an important part, but that's just the ethos of ICP. They're gonna scream positive vibes and dick jokes at you. What I'm saying here is that Slipknot, GWAR, and ICP are all jackass.
That is fair. But yeah, apparently Babytron's dad was really good friends with Violent J. And apparently,
That's magical right there.
Yeah, exactly. Apparently his dad was signed to ICP's record label. That's very funny.
Hell yeah.
Michigan,
Yes.
Midwestern excellence right there. I mean,
Truly.
there's so many great shots in the Prince of the Midden video where Babytron is rapping in front of a giant mural for Faygo, and I'm just like, this is like the most Michigan image of all time. Is Babytron rapping in front of he raps in front of a mural with Faygo on it, and then he also raps in front of the Little Caesars Arena. And
Oh, hell yes.
And I just think that's great.
Oh my
I
God.
am pitching the idea of next year, we all skip the Pitchfork Fest and we go to the Gathering.
We'll see. We'll see.
Maddie,
I think that's pushing it. I think that's
see.
pushing it. We will.
Maddie,
It's pushing a little bit. You want to do that yourself? Go for
Maddie.
it. But I'm going to be at Pitchfork Fest
Maddie,
this year.
you got to be down with the clown.
I mean, again, I respect ICP. I respect ICP, but I would just feel it's not my space. You know, that's for them. I don't want to be an outsider. I don't want to be an invader to their safe space.
If we
I just
learned
don't.
anything today, there are no outsiders to the Juggalo lifestyle.
I guess that's true. I guess that is true.
Except for racists, they have merch where they burn Confederate flags on it. So swag.
Hell yeah.
Excellent.
Okay, what is this bonus? I gotta see this bonus video you mentioned about the Violent J and his daughter.
All right.
I got or the I want to. Yeah, I gotta see.
I was just suggesting we watch the just a real. We don't have to watch the whole thing.
Yeah,
but
Jackie's
the,
is better. We should watch
okay,
Danny
Jack, what do you
Brown
got
at the
for us,
gathering.
Jackie?
We should just watch a real clip of the Danny Brown gathering of the Juggalos. There's a specific clip that we can play from halfway through that I think is a really great non-video illustration. If you skip to like 4 or 5 minutes in, like 4.5 minutes in.
Okay.
Right after his performance, they get some great crowd footage of some Juggalos. I miss this era of Danny's hair so much.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We've discussed.
Just like everything else. If you scared of them, they gonna fuck with you. Let's see what else happens tonight.
See, that's the thing is that
Wait,
like
Matty.
I would be scared of them, and they would fuck with me.
Right,
I wouldn't want that.
He says, "Here's what. See what else happens tonight." And then the camera cuts to a man who is standing still with no one else in the frame.
Like everything else. If you scared of them, they gonna fuck with you. Let's see what else happens tonight. Good.
Oh, again.
Young Jason Voorhees.
Someone just got a juggalo just drop kicked another juggalo just stay like
Keep
jackass shit.
Watch this next little interview that happens. This is what I was referring to.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Were her tits just like out?
Hell yeah.
Whoa, fire breathers. There's Danny. Hell
I
yeah.
got that whore, that Molly, for Danny Brown, because he be talking about it, the Adderall Admiral, and I got blunt after blunt after blunt after blunt after blunt. Did you watch Danny Brown?
Yes, I did.
Yeah?
And he held it down.
Huh?
He held that
He
shit
fucking
down.
held it down.
Okay, it's motherfucking right.
This is literally me. This is literally just me on the rap forums.
I mean, I was till you cut in on my shit.
Hey, we're family. Hug. Fuck this. Hug.
We're family.
Hug. Family.
Family.
Some Fast and Furious shit.
Oh. There's a little homophobia. Okay, what the?
Look, these girls are chasing us right here. Huh? Ah! Thank you.
Biggest fan.
Ah!
Good job, bro.
All right, yeah, that was.
Oh.
I don't know what to do with this.
Classic video. I watched this and it just reminded me. It's not that Noisy and Vice were good. That's not it at all. It's that they had so much money at the time and there was so little seemingly oversight as to what was done with that money that the non-goodness of the way that Vice was run as a company sort of accidentally allowed for some genuinely great stuff to be made. And I was just watching this video like, why don't we have more shit like this? Like, they should just send someone with a camera to the 2023 equivalent of the gathering of the Juggalos. But it's also just like, where are you going to get footage like this? The amount of titties you see in this video is just astronomical.
You know, when you say they should send someone to the gathering of the Juggalos with a camera,
it should be me. It should be me and the Indieheads podcast. That's where we wrap it up. All right.
All right. So the Indieheads podcast is going to the gathering.
Yeah, we will be at the gathering this year.
Yes, we're gonna have our own tent. We're gonna do a live podcast.
Matty will be performing No Crush on stage with ICP.
Poor Matty. Why is it that after every episode...
I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Indieheads podcast. You can support us on Patreon at patreon.com.
He always sounds like he's ready to die.
I'm going to turn up the microphone so I got to move much louder than everybody else. Patreon.com/Indieheads podcast. $1 a month. Gets you episodes 48 hours early and gets you in the Discord server. And then $5 a month, you get a bonus episode every month. We just did one on Louisiana music. That was a lot of fun. Okay, I'm gonna change my levels back to normal.
He did not have fun.
I had fun. This was fun. Although I'm putting my foot down, Grant. When you do send us your next playlist, it cannot be so visual focused. I gotta put my foot down. If you're gonna do something that's visual focused, save it for a live stream. That's me being the little stinker, little me being the boss.
So that's a no on the crazy ass live show playlist where we talk about Gigi Allen, Mayhem, and Rock Bitch.
I didn't know that was a
fuck?
thing, and I would veto
I
that
just
even
made
before.
it up right now. Don't worry. It's not
I'm vetoing it right now, even before.
Okay.
Well, it's
Well,
a little
in that
baby thought in
case,
your head.
everyone should Wikipedia Rock Bitch tonight. Very important, very, very important band.
Yeah, Matty, we're gonna run into this problem again when I want to do my Go White Boy, Go White Boy, Go episode, but we'll have to cross that bridge when we get to it.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Okay.
Oh,
Thank you
boy.
everybody for listening to this podcast. We will see you all next week let me see what we got on the docket next week. I think next week, I want to say, is a sequel episode. It is a sequel episode. We're doing Slammers Volume 2. More songs from professional wrestlers. I know I just made a little screed about the whole visual bits on an audio podcast.
Matty's shaking his
okay.
head.
It's okay with
Maddie, after I paid your rent this month, you're gonna do this.
It's a real do as I say, not as I do situation over
Facts.
the Indieheads podcast.
Facts.
Yeah. So I guess before we end up wrapping this up, I just have to remind everybody to please monster fuck responsibly.
That's right.
Monster,
True.
wrap it up.
Britt, this has been a magical time.
Monster
Monster,
herpes
wrap
or
it up.
something.
It's a good
Nobody wants
All
monster chlamydia.
Yeah, wrap it up.
God.
Wrap it up with a lot
right.
a lot of toilet paper, all the way wrapped up.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, just like a mummy. Yes,
Jesus.
yes. Okay, I'm very tipsy. I'm sorry.
Oh God.
That was great.
This
Anyways,
is the only way to enjoy this.
Patreon.com. I don't do this too often. Again, give us some ratings on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to the podcast. Helps us out, brings some more reach to the show. I think that's what they all say. But I don't know. Well, just do it. You like the podcast? Give us a rating on Spotify
I was
or
looking
where
for
else
this.
you listen.
Real quick, don't interrupt you, Matty. I just posted it in the Master Monsters chat. The picture of Babytron and Violent J.
Oh hell
Holy
yes!
shit.
Hell
Oh,
yes!
wow.
Oh,
That
let's
rocks.
Icons.
Okay, there we go. That's a great way to end it. All right, thank you everybody for listening. We'll see you all next week. Bye bye.